Oh, hello, it is I, your boy Gomi, and we are coming hot off the heels of UFC 290. A banger of a card, a contender for the best card of the year, as hyped up as we all anticipated to be. God, imagine if Jack Della Maddalena versus Brady was on it. But this card was what we wanted. We said, man, the last couple cards had not been all that. We were waiting for some heat. We got it. This was an amazing card from virtually start to finish. I think it was a near perfect card, to be honest with you. Like, I can't think of anything where I can't think of almost any fights where I was like, man, that was a real snooze fest. I will say there were some unfortunate things in terms of my betting wise but otherwise, like, was there a bad fight on this card? Really was I don't know. So let's just get down into it right away. We have Camilla Kirk versus Esteban Ribovic. I was on Kirk, but I thought that was a pretty solid fight. That was one of the very few decisions of the card. No, actually not very few. There was actually a few decisions, but it's one of the decisions of the card. It was a pretty solid back and forth fight, but Ribovic ultimately just feel like he got the nod. I think it was a close fight. That's why he got it. I liked his striking, I liked his grappling, everything was just a little bit better than Camilla Kirk. So he got a round 3, well, he got a decision, not round 3, I don't know what I'm saying there. And then we have Shannon Ross versus Jesus Aguilar. Jesus Aguilar KO'd, flatline KO'd him, which is rare for flyweights. Absolute overhand right from hell. Flatline, just murdered him. 17 seconds, the fastest finish in UFC flyweight history. Just an absolute murderous right hand. Not really much else to say about that. That was a beautiful showing from Jesus Aguilar as he picks up his first win in the UFC. Then we have Cameron Simon versus Terence Mitchell. Man, I knew Simon had that, but that was a really solid beatdown. Simon, I think got hurt like once in the fight, but for the most part, just dominant grappling. And then he was able to get on top, and he was decided to get the finish. I predicted that as well, too. I gave Simon, a lot of people were leaning towards him by submission. I took him by TKO, and he got it. Vitor Petrino. This is one of the main things that messed me up because he got submission when I only had him by knockouts, but oh well. Vitor Petrino had submitted Marcin Prachnio in round 3. This was an okay fight, nothing crazy, but it had a finish, so that's a solid fight in my book. I just overall felt like Petrino really could have got this knockout. He really was hurting Marcin throughout the entirety of the fight, but he just had a very poor decision to grapple and gain back some energy in round 1. He could have got more of an exciting knockout finish, but he got a finish nonetheless. So we'll take it. Then Jimmy Crute rematched Alonzo Menifield. I was right. Alonzo Menifield saw his mistakes from the first fight and he corrected them. He was the smarter fighter, dodged the takedowns. He landed big shots. Jimmy Crute, I don't think he even landed a significant strike, to be honest with you. Really, 26 significant strikes. I don't know about that, but yeah, Jimmy Crute just really did not have anything for Alonzo Menifield. Alonzo Menifield landed big power bombs, and then eventually, on a failed takedown, he was able to get that guillotine choke on Jimmy Crute over that round 2 submission. Yasmine Aguilar versus Denise Gomes. You hate to see a minus 400 favorite bust your main parlay, because I was up every single fight, even with methods other than Petrino. But Yasmine got blitzed by Gomes. Denise Gomes just went after, just blitzed her. Absolutely nothing really much, just chaotic, wild violence, just pure violence, and gave her first loss 20 seconds in. Lots of quick finishes, lots of round 1 finishes on this card. My God, nothing else to say, just a massacre. Tatsuya versus Edgar Chairez. Not a good look for Tatsuya, being a minus 900, going up against a guy in his UFC debut, and you're one of the top 5 prospects I'd listed. I don't know about listing him up there. Unlike Bo Nickel on the card, who proved he fought how a top prospect should. Tatsuya really struggled with that, almost got finished at one point. The only reason he was able to win that was just, again, for his superior grappling, but he could have got finished. He really could have got finished. Not a great showing from Tatsuya. I'm still going to be on him. I still think he's one of the better prospects in the UFC, but I'm not going to be as high on him as I was before. And then moving on to the next fight, Robbie Lawler. He turns back the clock. He's the guy, one of the guys who originated Just Bleed. One of the kings of Just Bleed, pure violence. He decides to turn back the clock, and he goes for pure violence, and he takes out Nico Price. Round 1 knockout. Absolutely beyond impressive, to be perfectly honest with you. Robbie Lawler got in that clinch, and he just kept peppering him with shots. I was surprised. I was astonished Nico Price even went down from those shots, but he got that fairy tale ending. Not many people retire from the UFC on a W. It's very rare that ever happens, but Robbie Lawler did it. Robbie Lawler went in there and he brawled and he went to the death, and he was able to take out Nico Price, inducted into the Hall of Fame just a couple days ago for the greatest fight of all time, and now he gets a W and goes out. Nico Price just really didn't have anything for him. Not another fight where I can't really talk about much. Just it was a brawl too, and even Robbie Lawler just said he just drew bigger shots and that landed. Great showing from Robbie Lawler. Don't know why I didn't get performance tonight. But next fight, Bo Nickel versus Val Woodburn. I want to say Bo Nickel. Yep, and that's how you're supposed to do it. That is how you're supposed to do it. You are a massive favorite. By the way, him by knockout though, round 1 was plus money. My friend got that. I did not get that. But yes, Bo Nickel is such a massive favorite, going off a guy who's honestly a can crusher, not really UFC caliber talent. UFC debut, 5 days notice, and Bo Nickel made short work of him. The thing is, Bo Nickel, a lot of people were worried by the power of Val Woodburn, and were really like, oh, I hope Bo Nickel doesn't trade with him and goes for his bread and butter. Nope, Bo Nickel knew what he needed to do. He saw the obvious openings with his height and reach advantage for those strikes. He was able to dart in and out of distance. Very good striking for Bo Nickel, to be honest with you, as well, too. He got I think he got caught with 1 strike, really. That was a little, ooh. But other than that, just very intelligent striking, 70% significant strike accuracy, 70% accuracy overall. And he was just the smarter fighter, darted in and out, got his second KO win. And man, that's a good one for the highlight reel. Shout out to Bo Nickel, by the way. Now, Jalen Turner versus Dan Hooker. This was a potential fight tonight. This was much more of a banger than anticipated. I thought this would be a solid fight, but it was a good fight. And Dan Hooker turned the clock. Blonde Hooker, the Oliveira Hooker, actually managed to beat Jalen Turner. It was very close. Part of me wanted to lean towards Turner for the damage, because if you looked at Dan Hooker's face was busted, but it was really just that first round where Turner really poured on him and did a lot of damage. How Hooker survived that perfect kick to the face, I'll never know. It's like we got the old tank Dan Hooker back in the day. Dan Hooker, I thought, was the best tank of lightweight. I thought he was the elite tank of lightweight. He survived the onslaught for a lot of fighters to win against that amazing fight against Barboza, but then, Dustin Poirier took his soul. In fact, I was saying that watching this live. I was saying, man, Dustin took his soul, and I feel Turner's going to take it from his Hooker as well. And he ate that kick, but he managed to come back. He finished the last 2 rounds very strong and managed to get that decision. That was a really good fight overall, and I'm surprised Dan Hooker won that. Broke his arm, took a lot of damage, rushed immediately to the hospital as per Dan Hooker fashion. But yes, Dan Hooker wins by a decision. Dricus du Plessis. I hope you took my picks. I hope you watched my best bets. I hope you watched my breakdown, because what I said came to pass. Robert Whittaker's chin is not this ungodly, undeniable thing, and Dricus du Plessis had amazing switch stance ability. The main reason Dricus du Plessis won this from his power, his natural athleticism, and his switch stance. The thing is, he was not throwing bombs with a right. He was throwing bombs with left and right. You can't just Robert Whittaker was just trying to get away from him and using his distance management. Drickus du Plessis made it a messy, dirty dogfight, which if you do against Robert Whittaker, there's nothing he can do. He made it a dirty dogfight. He just pressed forward. He didn't care if he got jabbed. Robert Whittaker was doing very well at the start with his very intelligent distance management, throwing jab, jab, jab. But then Drickus du Plessis remembered he's the better grappler. I don't know where it's coming from. The Robert Whittaker is some elite level grappler. I don't know, because he took down Izzy once, because he took down Marvin Vettori once. He's elite level grappler. Yeah, no, my boy Drickus du Plessis has, I believe it's 10 submissions. He has, of his 20 wins, only one fight went the only one of those losses or wins went the distance. He has power in both his hands. He just blitzed down Robert Whittaker. There's not much he could do. That amazing trip at the start as well too, will him pound on Whittaker, get a lot of damage on him, hurt him really bad. Then that simple jab, right as Whittaker tried doing that karate dart in, Drickus du Plessis saw what Jared Cannonier saw in his fight, caught him on it. Just seeing Whittaker drop like that was insane. It reminded me of how Israel Adesanya dropped him in the first fight. And he was able to get the finish. He pressed the pace. Whittaker tried getting away. He just drew haymakers from both the southpaw and orthodox stance while moving forward, but he did not. He learned from his other fights, his previous mistakes. He did not crash forward against Robert Whittaker. He stopped and he started going for leg kicks and shots to the body, and then he just drew haymakers from a good controlled distance. Beautiful showing from Drickus du Plessis, and now we're going to have him versus Israel Adesanya, more than likely in September. Solid fight. This is what we wanted. Get out of my face if you said you wanted Robert Whittaker 3 versus Israel Adesanya. Nobody wanted that. Everyone wants Drickus. Before going into this fight, I was saying, yeah, okay, Izzy's going to beat the crap out of Drickus. Drickus has no chance against Izzy. I still think Izzy's going to win. And I still think the main reason I wanted to fight is because I feel it would be a much better, much more exciting fight due to Drickus' exciting style. But maybe Drickus has a chance. I had round 2 KO for Drickus, but I don't know, man. That's what I picked, but I just don't know. Oh, man. This is going to be a good fight. But yes, Drickus du Plessis, he is going to be the #1 contender. There's no other fight I want to see for Izzy. Fight of the night goes to Brandon Moreno versus Alejandro Pantoja. Like I said, Alejandro Pantoja won, not by decision. I did not say that. I gave him sub. I literally said myself, if Moreno goes to decision, if this goes to decision, it's Moreno. I was wrong, but I was right. Pantoja won. Pantoja is now 3-0 against Aleksandar Moreno. He has stolen the title from him. Moreno, by the way, has never successfully defended the title, which I find absolutely hilarious. Just such a good fight, by the way. Just two warriors going at it. Absolute brawl to the death. Pantoja has such a great fighting style. Just his problem is he has such exciting fight style. Just Pantoja has awful striking defense, getting jabbed. Like Moreno has very good boxing now. His jab is crispy. His 1-2 is very crispy as well too. But Pantoja is just too much of a dog. Outdogged him. We saw that in his fight against Matt Chanel. Pantoja just dogged him. But Moreno was very clever, very smart. Moreno did get dropped really bad in round 1, and he did get bloodied. But then he bloodied Pantoja, and then they turned into a grappling match. They just started grappling, beating each other up. It was just such a good fight overall. Like, I said this would be fight of the night, and I was right. I thought I was going to be wrong. I thought Jalen Turner versus Dan Hooker was going to steal fight of the night, but Pantoja stole it. A really good adjustment that Pantoja started doing is he started realizing that the hooks were not really working, not really getting past his guard anymore. So he started shifting towards uppercuts, and those were very good. He just overall had the better grappling, I feel, though Moreno had very solid grappling, definitely improved on that, even though that was already his bread and butter. He was able to stand toe-to-toe with Pantoja, survive against him, not get submitted, not get finished, unlike the first fight. And it went to a decision like the second fight, but man, such a brawl, such a battle between two warriors. I really don't want to see Brandon Moreno get another title shot, but to be honest with you, there's nobody else. Figueiredo is moving up to bantamweight, more than likely going to be fighting Dominic Cruz, from what I heard. Brandon Royval already lost to Pantoja. I don't really like that. I don't like Yamir Abazi. I don't like him getting a title shot after a robbery against Kai Kara France. So it's got to be Pantoja versus Moreno 4. But again, how are we going to market that when Moreno is not even a long dominant champion? I don't like that too. That's the thing. I don't like trilogies or quadrilogies. And another quadrilogy for Moreno. I don't know what to do with the flyweight division. I really don't know. But all I know is that's hot. People are hot off that fight. That was such a good fight. But yes, we have our winner by decision, Alejandro Pantoja. By the way, main card, I was 4 out of 5. And another thing I'd like to mention, I've been right on the co-main event for like 2 months. I think I've been right on the co-main event since literally 288, maybe. I don't know. Regardless, Pantoja by decision, fight of the night. I also feel like there's not a lot to say with this fight, unfortunately. Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez. Alexander Volkanovski proves again he's the greatest featherweight of all time. He is the #1 featherweight. I didn't take him by knockout. I really thought Yair was going to have more toughness, but Yair just did not look good in this fight. Volkanovski was just on point, too sharp. His striking was too good. Yair, his defense was very solid. He corrected his poor kicking, his defense against head kicks. He had a bad habit in a lot of his fights. He corrected that. He defended him properly. Yair had nothing. Got taken down. Got beaten up. He did bloody Volkanovski with a nice elbow from the bottom, but that was a very poor showing from Yair Rodriguez. He really didn't open up with his hands, and when he did, that's what eventually got him finished. But just the thing was, just Volk was just too tough. He was too tough. He was too smart. He was darting in and out. I don't like. He went back to a little bit of his boring point fighting style that he did a few times, but then in the 3rd round, caught him and he went for that finish. Volkanovski's ground and pound is very clean. That's some entertaining stuff to watch. But yeah, it's just really was just bad showing from Yair and great showing for Volkanovski, showing that he was just a level above. I don't know how Ilia Topuria is going to handle him, to be honest with you. I really don't, because Yair finished Emmett, took him out. I know Topuria had an amazing performance against him, but he didn't take out Emmett. Yair did, and look what Volkanovski did to him. Volkanovski beat the brakes out of him. I thought he was going to show more toughness like Moreno did, to be honest with you, but he just had nothing from him. It's the activity. And I feel, again, too, it's just like, even though I've said very frequently that Volkanovski was not going to be able to game plan or get data on Yair, it did not freaking matter because he is just a better fighter. Alexander Volkanovski, the great, retains his title. And like I said, best featherweight. Still think he loses to Islam, though. But yes, this has been your boy Gomi. UFC 290. Was it trash? Fuck no. Yeah, I swore I swear. 290 is probably, it's up there. It's either between that or 287 as what was the best card. I'm partial to 287 because I was there live and Israel Adesanya is my #1 fighter. But I would be a liar if I said there was because there were some boring fights on 287. There was. But 290, I think the only bad fight was Tatsuya Taira versus Chavez was not that great. That's really it. Really it. Every fight was great. That was just a spectacular card. Really wish I really wish the Turner versus Hooker fight was I don't know, because I always want the fight to match or get the most record for knockouts or for finishes. I mean, nah, not in it. Overall, amazing card. I'm really looking forward to 291. I watched 291 because I was looking at that. I was like, yeah, that's going to be a better card. I just think it has better matchups. I still look at it and feel it has more exciting, better matchups. But watch, it's going to just fail in comparison compared to 290. Watch. Regardless, this has been your boy Gomi. Let me know what you think in the comment sections below. Let me know if you like my picks. Let me know if you like those because those are solid this time. But yes, bye-bye.